Founded in 1986, Nucleus Software has been a pioneer in providing lending and transaction banking products to the global financial services industry. The company excels in combining deep expertise with an unprecedented track record and a total commitment to building lasting partnerships with its customers. With over 3 decades of its existence, Nucleus Software powers the operations of more than 200 financial institutions in over 50 countries, supporting retail lending, corporate banking, cash management, mobile and internet banking, automotive finance, and other business areas. And today in this special episode, we catch up with the father-daughter duo Vishnu Dusad, founder and MD of Nucleus Software, and Ritika Dusad, Chief Innovation Officer and Executive Director, to take us through their journey of transforming the Indian financial sector.
Hello and welcome to this special conversation as part of CNBC TV18's Banking Transformation Summit. I'm Ritu Bhandari. Well, India's banking and financial services landscape has seen tectonic shifts over the last couple of years thanks to innovation led by technology. If we look at it, India's fintech companies are the second most funded startup segment in India. Legacy institutions like banks and other financial institutions are accelerating digital transformation. And well, the India growth story and the success story is out there for the world to see with our unified payments interface. That and lots more has been happening. So on the show today, our theme is banking on technology, how tech innovation is changing India's financial landscape. And for this, I'm at the Nucleus Software headquarters in Noida, where I'm joined by Vishnu Dusad, the founder and MD of Nucleus Software, and Ritika Dusad, Chief Innovation Officer and Executive Director of the company. Thank you so much, Vishnu and Ritika, for joining us here today. Well, should we start with a little bit of a look at the rearview mirror? And if I can come to you first, Mr. Dusad, when you look back to 3 decades ago when you founded Nucleus Software, did you ever imagine that India is going to come out as this pioneer of tech-enabled innovation and financial inclusion?
I must admit that that India would make such progress in 30 years that we had not imagined. We did start playing a role by creating intellectual property on Indian soil because cyber coolies was a term that was put to use in late 80s and early 90s, which we didn't like at all. And we thought that there is no reason why we should not be able to create some meaningful solutions for our own needs here and now. And that's what we've been doing for last 3 decades, more than 3 decades now. We've played a meaningful role in creating almost an operating system for retail lending. We have been evolving it, and thanks to that, we call it FinOne. And thanks to that solution, I'm very happy to let you know that 40 lakh crores worth of retail assets they get originated and or serviced and or collected using our platform in India alone.
Well, it's great that you've come this far, and there is a lot more to go forward as well. Ritika, if I can come to you, what do you believe are the key drivers of innovation at Nucleus Software, and how do you really analyze the potential market impact that any new innovation would have?
So I think for innovation, it's important to solve problems posed by the constraints around you. And Nucleus Software has been doing that very well for over 3 decades now. For you to solve problems, you have to ask some questions first, and we've been asking these questions to our customers and their end customers. What are your pain problems? Biggest pain problem that was recently solved by UPI was that of payments, creating a robust infrastructure. But for our company, we focused on solving problems about how to give access to retail credit to the lakhs and crores of Indians. And the biggest driver for that is the domain expertise, 10,000 years of domain expertise that we have in our institution here. So I think the impact of innovation is huge, creating a lot of solutions for the society, and the biggest solution we've created, of course, enables access. Going forward, I think data science, AI, ML are going to enable greater and greater credit access to more people.
Right. The innovation that she's talking about, all of that also takes a constant re-looking at processes. Now, in a legacy organization like Nucleus Software, how challenging is it to do that? How often do you look at processes and decide to tinker with it, redo something, and is there a process to look at the processes?
Excellent question, I must say. Software Engineering Process Group, SEPG. This is a group that exists which does exactly what you asked. It keeps looking at the processes that we use for creating solutions, and when we look at the processes, they have undergone drastic change over these decades. Earlier we used to work in waterfall method, subsequently came agile, and now we are getting into CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery. With these processes, our ability to deliver solutions to our customers, who in turn have to compete in the marketplace, is going to increase substantially, because today, as of today, we are giving releases every 6 months, but that is too long a wait for our customers. So, with CI/CD, we will be able to deliver them much faster.
Ritika, you mentioned earlier as well that innovation really comes from solving the pain points of a customer. How much do Nucleus Software's existing customers really influence avenues for innovation and product development ideas? Give us some examples where you've really worked on something that came from the customer directly.
We've been fortunate to keep learning from our customers since the day of our inception, and we learned the heart of banking technology from one of the larger players like Citibank, starting in '86, and we still have a relationship with them. And with them we learned both retail lending, which helped us to transform lending in India, as well as transaction banking side of the business. Some of the recent recommendations that are coming to us are focused on including perhaps AI ML into the credit decisioning related to data coming from collection systems, and then improving the credit decisioning going forward to the final customer. So that's
okay. Wonderful to hear that. Well, on that note, it's time for a short break right now, but on the other side we'll talk about the brand that Nucleus Software is, a brand of innovation done in India but made for the world. Stay with us on CNBC TV18 Banking Transformation Summit. Welcome back. On this special show today, I'm in conversation with the leadership team of Nucleus Software, and in this segment we are going to do some crystal ball gazing and try to unravel what the future might hold for the financial services sector. Vishnu, do you think that the company's global recognition is a sort of validation for India's innovation and tech talent? How does that make you feel, and what's the transformation in the image that you've seen over the last 30 years at a global level?
Initially, of course, there were when I'm talking about early 90s, there were challenges about how our software would be taken. We used to, as a country, we used to provide only services. So we were very happy to see the acceptance of our software, and then over the decades, then the acceptance has been growing, and there is no challenge whatsoever about Indian software being substandard or anything of that sort.
When you look at all of this, what are some of the lessons that this Indian brand of tech-based financial inclusion and financial innovation can really set for the rest of the world?
Yeah, I think the robustness and reliability of our solutions is what we Indian brand of solutions stand for. We have been delivering our solutions to all our customers. I would say, if not 100%, 99% is the our consistency of delivery for our all our customers, and that itself stands for that itself means a lot, because otherwise the success rate is less than 70%.
Well, one of the big challenges that comes with all of this is the hyper personalization and the customization that today's customer wants, whether it's a B2B customer or a B2C customer. The attention, the customization, the hyper personalization is demanded from companies. So at Nucleus Software then, Ritika, how do you really reconcile with these divergent needs that many customers have while also achieving scale for all of your tech products?
So the fact that our nucleites, as we call ourselves, have 10,000 years of this experience, they understand how to build highly robust and flexible systems that work for financial institutions globally. Sometimes, players ask us, how do you cater to regulatory requirements coming from 50 different countries? And it's just the flexibility of the system that we have built over the 3 decades of creation of IP that allows us to do that. So we also have an extend layer around some of our software products that allows even more customization for our customers.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that meeting the whole regulatory compliance is quite challenging in 50 different countries.
It is.
Well, Vishnu, beyond finance, do you think your company is also helping establish a model for digitized service delivery because you're using enhanced data crunching skills, you are helping identify and fulfilling the needs of various beneficiaries. So beyond finance, what else?
No, I think as of now we are still focused on finance and financial services. And having said that, that itself creates so much of opportunities for contributing to the economy as a whole. So when we are talking about 40 lakh crores worth of retail assets, you are helping create housing, you are helping create 4-wheelers, 2-wheelers, education loans, and literally anything and everything. And that itself gives you so much of satisfaction that you are able to keep track of every small penny and give confidence to our direct customers and their customers that their money is in safe hands.
Right. Yeah, that's most important, right, for a financial services company. Well, on that note, we are going to head into another short break right now. But on the other side, we'll unravel what the future holds for the financial services sector. What kind of technology-led innovations can we expect? Stay with us right here on CNBC TV18. Welcome back to this special conversation on CNBC TV18, where I'm in conversation with the leadership of Nucleus Software, and we're talking about all that's happening in India's financial services space and how technology-led innovation is really changing the game. Well, in this segment, I want to do a little bit of crystal ball gazing with both of you. So, Vishnu, how do you really see the whole market for digital finance tools evolving in the future, given that digital acceleration, digital transformation is happening for companies across the board, across sectors? Will this really help entrench bigger banks and NBFCs in leadership positions? Because these companies have the volume of data. They've just about started leveraging it and analyzing it and drawing insights out of it. How do you see the future?
Yeah, future looks really exciting to me because as you said, data is just started getting in place and its utilization has kind of started. We can very easily visualize that the bottom of the pyramid, which is has to pay that crazy interest rate of at least 365% per annum. That only because that is happening only because there is no access to the financial services industry for the bottom of the pyramid, and that is where technology will help them get to some meaningful interest rates like what people like us get 10%, 15% at the most. They may have to pay 40-50% rate of interest, but not 365%. and that is what I can visualize happening over next 5 to 10 years. Thanks to UPI, now we can visualize that the micro enterprise is also creating some sort of a digital footprint, using which banks would be able to leverage and pay lend them at meaningful interest rates. So that is what is my perception for next 5 to 10 years.
Right, and for this to happen, what sort of regulatory framework is required? What is on your wish list when it comes to policymakers? Because there needs to be more liberalization in the flow of data, of course keeping in mind security and privacy concerns. So as we go ahead and try to establish these data standards and processes, and artificial intelligence, machine learning become an integral part of this whole system, as a leader of the ecosystem, what would be on your wish list?
No, I think we must compliment our regulator RBI for the quality of the regulation that it has had over these decades, and it's thanks to that we don't have to see the busts and booms in our economy. So I think they are doing really well today in terms of getting players like us to come and jointly innovate with them. Only thing that needs to happen is this can get accelerated faster, and hopefully by next 5 years 365% rate of interest would be gone.
Right. Well, we also have the dream of becoming a $5 trillion economy in the next couple of years. So what sort of onus does that put on Nucleus software to really rapidly facilitate this growth with innovation, and what are the qualities that you would uniquely equip your company with to kind of help meet that goal?
I think the DNA that we've been able to create over these last 3 decades of innovation, that is going to help us play some additional role in this $5 trillion dream that we have, because it is only through that innovation DNA that all our nucleites are able to apply their minds and come up with solutions which are meaningful for our direct customers and our our customers, and that's how we've been able to play this role in so far. We only hope to accelerate it. We've created this campus essentially with that intent, that our teams should be able to do that thinking, that creative thinking, and come up with very impactful solutions.
Right. And Ritika, what future growth areas would you align to this dream of India to become a $5 trillion economy very quickly?
So I think for the growth of any nation, I think the economy grows with productivity going up and infrastructure also matching up to support that. And for that to happen, I think various levels of people need to have greater and greater access to capital, and that's what Nucleus is focusing on very, very strongly. We have that vision of making financial services access easy and enriching worldwide. So to accelerate our vision to reach that $5 trillion economy, focusing on credit decisioning systems that can be created using data science to facilitate access of credit for all segments, whether it's the bottom of the pyramid or an MSME. That's what we're looking at.
Wonderful. Well, so we started with the rear view mirror. Let's look at the windshield now. Going forward, 30 years done. For the next 30, Vishnu, what sort of a roadmap do you want to set, and what sort of transformations are you expecting? Well, 30 is long to predict for transformations, but any roadmap in mind?
I think 30 years back, for that matter even 15 years back, getting a loan was a challenge, an individual loan. And today we are looking at 10 seconds actually happening, the credit happening within 10 seconds. So I think going forward, we should be looking at, in terms of timeline, milliseconds and so on. But more importantly, the bottom of the pyramid that we were talking about, because once we are able to make this meaningful credit available to them, there is no dearth of entrepreneurship even at that level. So that is what over next 30 years we would be able to deliver, and we can very easily see ourselves as a developed nation by the time we complete our century.
Well, we certainly hope so, and surely very exciting times ahead as far as technology and innovation are concerned. We are looking forward to lots of transformation in the Indian financial services landscape. So good luck to both of you and to Nucleus Software for the future. And with that, it's a wrap of this special conversation on CNBC TV18 Banking Transformation Summit. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Goodbye.